Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. Today's going to be a video response to my good friend Cameron over Industrial Gamer. I got up real early this morning. I noticed he had uploaded a video, interesting video where he talked about, I don't remember the name, I think it was called Collecting in Excess. In other words, are we just collecting crap just to collect things? I mean, is there really a rhyme or reason to it? Now again, everyone comes from a different, frame of reference. The reasons why they collect, sometimes it's for nostalgia, sometimes it's because they really love the game. Sometimes people just have a collectoritis, and they just, like a stamp collection, they need to have every stamp there is, or every baseball card, or whatever it is. We all have a different prerequisite criteria, or what have you, for collecting games. I've said many times that mine are just to collect the games that I miss from the old days that I never should have gotten rid of, Good friend Silverwings21, or my good buddy Jeremy, who's helped me build a lot of my collection. These are guys that were smart. They bought games early on. They bought an original Super NES game and they hung on to it instead of getting rid of it. I wish I had that kind of forethought. I just didn't, though. But, we all collect for different reasons. And Cameron is someone that started his YouTube video real early on when he was just a kid. I mean, when he wasn't even allowed to play M-rated games. So he's been doing YouTube and gaming for a long time. He's played a lot of games. He was saying that now he kind of looks back, and there were some 7th gen games that he didn't play or wasn't allowed to play at the time, but he could go back and play. And he's found that by going back and playing some of them, they seem kind of dated, and it's like it was a big thing to play them then, but now it's like he sees the kind of the limitations with the frame rates and the subpar graphics, or like the original Assassin's Creed. When I remember playing on the PlayStation 3, it had major screen tearing. There's much better Assassin's Creed games that you can play, certainly, but it depends. I mean, if you really love the series, and naturally you're going to want to collect every game in that series, maybe. Now, I didn't like the first one that much, and because of that I never played the second one or any of the other ones, and I did buy Black Flag at launch, Assassin's Creed 4, because I love the ocean, open world, and the Caribbean, and the pirate theme. It's just fantastic. I played the beginning of it just to see how good the graphics were, which looked really impressive, maybe an hour or so, just to kind of get an idea what the game was. It was very cool. And then I got a gift for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where I'm part Greek, and I love that whole Greek islands and the whole Greek, that whole landscape and architecture and the kind of the tone at that time and the weapons and the ocean sea battles. And so that's a game that's massive. You could put some 100 hours plus very easily on. So it's a game who knows when I'll get to it. I even have the wonderful strategy guide that goes with it. But it doesn't mean that I want to have every Assassin's Creed game. Where on the other hand, where I loved like the all of the James Bond games, the 007 games, I bought all 5 of the James Bond games for the original Xbox. GoldenEye, which I've never played. This one, Rogue Agent, Agent Under Fire, which I have been playing. Nightfire, haven't played, but it looks really good. Sequel to Agent Under Fire. My favorite, From Russia with Love. An outstanding game. I've played it a couple times all the way through, and even unlocked the bonus levels. Everything or Nothing I haven't played, but it's very much like this one. It's almost the same third-person shooter type stuff. Great games. I think I have all of them for the 360 too. I've got Quantum of Solace, which is made by Infinity Ward. It looks just like Call of Duty. Even the menus, even plays like it. An outstanding game. I really loved this game. I played it all the way through. So good. Bloodstone, I started playing it just, I think last summer, last year, before Christmas, I started playing this and really liked it. I need to get back to it. Mark Bussler raved about it, and so I kind of wanted to go back and finish it out. GoldenEye Reloaded I played through and liked, and I love 007 Legends, which is kind of a sequel to it. I think that this is actually a better game than this, but you can see my review of this if you're interested in hearing the reasons why. But so I love the 007 games. I think I'm missing maybe one of the PlayStation 1 007 games. Eventually, when I get an N64, I'll get all of the James Bond games for it, GoldenEye, and the other one, Everything or Nothing, whichever one it is. But so my goal is eventually, if I can get all the James Bond games, I have all 12 of the Star Wars games on my bookshelf up here for the original Xbox. I think there's 2 or 3 exclusives for the PlayStation 2. I have those as well. And I've got, some of the ones for the Xbox 360. I have, and for the PlayStation 3, I got the Star Wars Force Unleashed 1 and 2, which I really like. Only played the first one, though. So I'm real happy with, I like to collect some genres. But like my good friend Jeremy's got every North American original Xbox game. For me personally, it's just not my thing to try to own every game, and I'm realistically going to play probably 35% of all those games. To me, to do it now would be a lot more expensive. He was smart and got a lot of those games when they were dirt cheap and kind of got them along the way and hung on to them. He's building a huge PlayStation 1 collection, very impressive. I can't remember which ones, but he has a lot of complete collections. My friend Silverwings21 is going after, I think, a complete N64 collection. So that's cool. It's not something that I would do per se, but it's something that's interesting. So we all have different reasons for collecting. Like I said, genres. Usually, like I love the Terminator, and I have, I've been playing this. In fact, after seeing the new Terminator Resistance trailers made by the Rambo the video game guys, which I did a review of that, Rambo the video game, I liked it for what it was. I saw the flaws and the cheese factor, but I liked it. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this. But the new one is going to be made by the same company that Rambo the video game, so be careful. Be optimistic, but be careful on that one. You might want to wait for reviews to come out. And I have the 3 original Xbox ones, Dawn of Fate. It's not the greatest reviews, but it looks really good. This one's got horrible reviews, but it still looks good. Parts of it look really good. Rise of the Machines, I'm anxious to play this one. This one I have played some of. This game is tough. I don't know that I could ever beat it. If someone put a Mac 10 in my head, I'd just say, you know what, empty the clip, because I don't think I could beat this. This is the game I challenge Silverwings21 to beat this. I would line up a long neck and a lawn chair all night to see him play this one and play it all the way through. I don't know if I could sit through a whole live stream, but I would definitely watch a series of videos that he does on it. Really a tough game, one of the best Terminator games I think ever made. So I'm happy with the 3 Terminator games, or 4 games that I have in the series. I don't know that there's any others for the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. I don't think there are, but so certain genres or games that I like, I'll get the whole. I have almost every Call of Duty game. I might be missing Advanced Warfare, but I have virtually every other one. I mean, I'm missing like maybe that. Oh, and then I'm Black Ops 3. I think I'm missing. I might have I have Black Ops 2. I finally got that one back in my collection, but again, that was part of the mistake I made, is over the years, not because I needed the money and I'd trade him in to get other games because I was broke. It was just because I beat it. I played a lot of PlayStation 1 games, beat him, and I handed him to like 10 or 15 of my favorite games. The rest of them, fuck me, give them to friends, whatever. I never even traded them in back then because there was no trade in place. I just gave them to friends and relatives, mostly nephews and stuff. And they enjoyed them, and I was like, I was done with it. Then later, my friend Chris came over, hey, dude, what happened to that Duke Nukem? Oh, I got rid of that fucking, God, a year or so ago. Oh, dude, and then you kind of regret it. So I would hang on to just a few games. I mean, like I said, I donated like 20 games to Classic Game Room. They were like my last 20 favorites I just couldn't get rid of, And I just said, you know what? The Xbox 360, I'm going to be getting it soon. I want to start fresh. Just have a new system, new games. So I know that feeling of just wanting to be light, kind of travel light, and just have just the things that you're working on, and so you don't have any backlog. You can literally, you got 10 games, you can beat all 10 games and get on the next 10. And, my friend Cameron's like that. He will not play. He'll play a game, he'll play it all the way through, beat it, platinum it, okay, done. Next game, and then get the next game, and he'll sit and play it all the way through until he beats it. He just said he beat Rage 2. He just beat Rage 1. I'm like, wow, that was quick. So he's going to talk about that soon. I haven't even played that game. It's too much for me. Now, I did buy, and I'll get into that in a minute, like collector's edition, special editions. I did get the collector's edition, special edition, whatever it's called, for Rage 2. I guess deluxe edition. Comes with a season pass, which is cool. And this little boomerang thing I've got with it somewhere, and might even be inside here. I don't know, it's somewhere. But, so I like some of these kind of things. I like some of the collectibles are cool. I do like having, this is one of my favorite things. Now, I only have like a few special editions, like the special, trilogy, Xbox 360 trilogy for Grand Theft Auto. I love this. I cherish this, and I've never played these, but I know that I would like them. I got the Grand Theft Auto, PlayStation, is it 3 games? Like I said, 3 games. Yeah, I got the London one and then the other 2, Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, for the PlayStation 1. So, and I have all of the PS2 Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtracks down here as well. So I'm a big Grand Theft Auto person, so I like collecting some of those. But I'm very selective, you know. I don't have that many collectibles. My good buddy Cameron of Industrial Gamer gave me that Doom collectible, which is you can sometimes see down the end of my shelf down here, a floating shelf. I love that thing. I love the Doom series, so I'm glad he got that for me. If I had had the forethought, I would have pre-ordered that myself, but I didn't know until it was too late. I thought they were sold out or probably going to be gone, so I kind of gave up on it. You know, when Aliens Colonial Marines came out, I loved the game personally and bought not one but two games, brand new, paid $60, $120 for the games, and then I bought the special edition. So one of them was like $120 or $100. It was a lot of money, maybe even $150. I don't remember. With a strategy guide, and then with this collectible, because I love this to death, and I love the game, and I got the DLC as well. This is such a wonderful, beautiful collectible. I just love the detail in this. I don't have very many, you know, and I'm happy with that. You know, some people, I watch their videos of the gamers, like Radical Reggie. It's just like a wall of games. It's like visual overload. Every collectible and pop, Funko Pop, and every poster and demo disc, and it's just like, it's sensory overload, just dense with games, you know. Jeremy's place, his whole apartment is just wall-to-wall games. It's impressive. I like the fact that people have amassed a flawless collection of all their favorite games or complete collections. It's very cool. I just don't have the interest in it, the money, or the space. And back in 2012, when I wanted to finally start collecting games, I said, you know, I made a big mistake getting rid of these games. I'm going to start hanging on to them from now on. So it's taken me years to collect, you know, 7 years now to collect all these games and get them back. And I still don't have all the games back that I played through and beat back in the day. But I do have a lot of games that I had never played because I didn't know about the internet back then. So I didn't know about Predator Concrete Jungle until just, you know, 2 years ago. Even though it's been out for years, because I wasn't on the internet. I didn't know. I never saw it in my game shelves. God, I would have bought that thing day one if I had known. So kind of out of sight, out of mind. So, and that's kind of where Cameron's been at. There are games that he couldn't play as a kid. So he's gone back and he's tried to buy some of those games. And then a lot of games, he bought every new game out. He said in his thing I saw this morning, he said, I'd go and buy 3 brand new games at $60 at a time. I mean, everything that came out each week or every other week, he was there. And doing pickup videos, driving to GameStop. I do the same thing. I drive and film the drive there and everything. And then he gets back and does an unboxing, you know. And he'd play them all the way through, where I don't, you know. He committed a tremendous amount of time to it. But now he's kind of adulting. He's much more mature. He's older. He's got some very successful careers well underway, and career goals and goals for his life and his lifestyle that he wants. So because of that, he's rethinking gaming. He says, now I only buy like 5 or 6 new games a year. And he plays through them all, where sometimes I'll play through a couple of them, and then most of them just sit on the shelf until I get to them someday with a good intent. You know, best laid intentions, that kind of thing. But so he's kind of cutting back on it. He's like, now he comes home and he's like, yeah, it's nice having all the games, but am I realistically going to play them? A lot of the games he bought and played, you know, he got like body count and stuff like that. He'd buy them brand new, play through them. But he's like, just because he has it, he felt that he had to hang on to it. Even if he doesn't like the game, it's like he can't part with it. My thing is, if you really didn't like the game, go ahead and get rid of it. Put it on eBay, sell it, give it to a friend, trade it in, what have you. But if it's a game you like, then, you know, I might return to that someday, or it has some nostalgic value. I don't know that I'll play through it again right now, but someday I might. My advice is hang on to it, you know. I've seen so many when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out. Oh, good, I'm going to take all these games down at GameStop, and they take their, you know, Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3 and piles of games. I give them $115 for all of it. Wow, $115 towards my brand new Xbox One. This is going to be great. My God, don't do it. Don't do it. And I saw them making that mistake. I'm like, man, don't do that. Don't get rid of them. And sure as hell, now people have kind of played a lot of the 8th gen. Some of them are kind of disenchanted with them and miss those 7th gen games. Now, you know, some people will only play the ones that are backwards compatible with the Xbox One. It's like, dude, why don't you can buy original Xbox? Yeah, but that one's not backwards compatible with Xbox One. Dude, you can just go out and buy a brand new or really good condition 360. There's millions of them out there. But it's like, it's because that's in the past, they can't fathom it. Well, yeah, I don't know about getting another PS2. That's okay. I mean, if it comes out in a remaster, I'll play it, you know, on the PlayStation 4. But so, to me, I like going back and playing the older experiences now. I never should have gotten rid of all the consoles and 7 PS2s I got rid of, and all the original Xboxes and PlayStation 1s that I've had. I've had 5 PlayStation 1s. So I kind of learned the hard way with that, and I'm changing that now. And that's why my advice to Cameron, he listened to me a couple of years ago. He was ready to get rid of all of his 7th gen stuff and just focus on 8th gen. I said, God, don't do it, dude. You're going to regret it. And he was smart. He listened to me, and now he says, dude, I'm really glad I listened to you. But he still is wondering, do I still need to have all of these games? Realistically, am I ever going to go back and play some of these? And then even some of the games that he missed, even like some of the 6th gen games, it's like, well, the game didn't really age well. I don't know. I go back and I really wanted to play it when I was a kid, but now when I play it, it's like kind of see the cracks in it, or it's not as enthralling as like a new gen with a killer performance, frame rates, high res, and all that. And so I understand it. It's not for everyone. Not everyone can go back and get into a 5th or 6th gen mindset. I mean, Solid Rev is tied. Dean, I don't know how you play those old, PlayStation 2 games. That shit I can't get into them. They're just too old and dated. And he likes the new shit, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's all subjective, but you got to be kind of realistic with your collections. Now, I have a collectoritis in a way with like my movie collection. I've got like over 5,000, ridiculous movie collection. I cut back on buying them because I just can't afford it anymore. I was going on to Best Buy every week and buying 2, 3 Blu-rays or DVDs a week, every week at full price. And I did that for years and years. And then they come out from VHS and VHS widescreen and then DVD and then DVD special editions and then Blu-ray. So some of these movies I've bought in 5 and 6 times. I think I could literally buy like a Grand Sport Corvette brand new for what I have in my, all my movies alone, not even counting the video games or the CDs that I have. I mean, I've got a huge collection. We're in the throes of moving right now. My wife goes, so we're going through and we're going to probably sell our beautiful wood desks, but they're huge. Some of the new homes we're looking at have like built-in desks where you can put your PC and everything. She's like, you know what, I really want to think about it, what we're going to bring. Let's not just drag all this shit with us to Idaho or Boise. Let's really think about this, and think about what we really want to take with us, and we'll leave some of the stuff behind or sell it on Craigslist or give it to family. She doesn't even want to take our new couches, which aren't that old. They're like maybe 2 years old. But she wants to get all new colors and new stuff. And I go, that's fine. So we'll probably give my dad, he likes my couches, I'll probably clean them up, steam clean them, and give him those. And we're going to get rid of a lot of bookcases, crap that we have. I'm going to keep my Billy IKEA bookcase for my game room, but I don't even know that I'm going to have, a new game room right off the bat when I get there. I may have to build it into one of the 3-car garages that we're looking at getting a good sized house. But because we may be raising children down the road, maybe, we'll see. We're getting a house big enough and we're setting aside rooms that could be children's rooms. So, I don't want to build a game room and then something happens and I got to take everything down again and repaint it. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Either we'll get maybe a 5-bedroom house, I'll have one room just for the game room, or I'll get like a big 3-car garage and take half of one of the garages and then wall it off and frame it and put in an AC unit and just have a nice game room out there, maybe a little bit bigger than this and more comfortable. But even then, I don't want to have every wall just wall-to-wall shelves. That's why when I started in 2012, I said I'm just going to get a few floating walls, a couple collectibles. I'll have a couple of my Hot Wheel cars here and there. Just my very favorite collectibles, my Miami Vice dolls. That's kind of how I am. I believe in collecting some things. Like I have I mentioned the Aliens Colonial Marines. I love the Sniper Elite series. So I got the Sniper Elite, 3 metal box. Comes this nice ammo box with playing cards and coasters and all the shit that came with it. Keychains with a bullet on, all the stuff. But I like this, and so I have, if you really look at my videos, I only have a handful of collectibles, not very many. I love these sideshow collectibles, but it doesn't mean I want to buy like every Predator and every, Star Wars one and all of the T-800, Terminator ones. I mean, there's a lot of, and I'd love to have them, but my God, they're $300-$400 each. It's just one more thing to just collect that's going to collect dust. But I said, you know what? I would like to have one. So I bought one. I paid $165 for this. This is worth $300-$400 now. They're going way up. I pre-ordered it a year before it came out and waited a long time, and I was lucky to get one. Shortly after that, they had like 100 left, and they were gone like in a day. They were gone. So I was very lucky, and I'm just happy with that. My wife, for my 50th birthday, got me my Miami Vice dolls I always wanted. So I'm happy with a few things. My mom got me this little gremlin back in the 80s. I have the little, this and the two little gremlins, and and I'm happy to have that. I just keep a few things out. A couple of die-cast cars, and Cameron gave me a Tomb Raider stuffed plushy little Black Panther I got over here in my 1950 Westinghouse radio, and I like a couple things, just a few collectibles, and I don't even have room for all my original Xbox games. I got most of them in boxes, so the next room I may have even less stuff than this. I'm going to just have just my favorite games only, and I'm going to box up all the rest of them. I may just have a few shelves, and that's it. Couple collectibles, keep it really nice. I like almost like a museum, very clean, lots of wall space, a couple nice framed pictures and posters. I don't want to fill every inch of the walls up with posters and pictures and just layers of like Funko Pops and collectibles. It's not my style. It's just a style thing. And I think Cameron's kind of getting to that point too. He's thinking, God, maybe I should just kind of, even these games, kind of whittle them down. My advice is, do what I'm thinking of doing. Just put your favorites out and just simply box up the rest. Put them in a closet. You'd be surprised how many you can get in a small book box from Home Depot. You can really get a lot of games in one box. In a few boxes, put them in mini storage, put them at your parents' house, up in the attic. Just put them away, but keep a note of what's in those boxes so you know where they are. And then if you want to play the games, you can have access to them. It doesn't take up too much space, not cluttering up your whole place if you don't have room. A lot of my UK friends don't have room for game room. Dean, we love your game room. I wish I could afford to have the space that you have. We just can't. That's why they like, streaming and cloud gaming and digital games. They don't take up so much damn space. I understand. I get it. I'm a physical collector. To me, if a game is worth playing and having, it's worth replaying and having in a collection. So I try to collect them. The future of PlayStation 4 games, I don't know. Way down the road when the PlayStation 4 is like an old relic, and it's not online anymore, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to be able to play all these games offline off my hard drive? I'd like to think so. So what I was doing initially is I'd get like the new Sniper Elite, game or whatever. In fact, there's a new V2 out now. I'd get like the new V2 on the PlayStation, get it, and then I'd get rid of my, Silver Star loaded edition for the 360. But now I'm thinking, you know what? And I stopped doing that. I was I'd buy Far Cry, get the 3, well, actually, no, I have Far Cry 3. I think one of them, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Bulletstorm. Initially, I got the new digital remaster one. So I traded in my other Bulletstorm game, and I'm like, wow, that was kind of a mistake, because maybe someday, even though it's not as nice as the 4K one for the PS4, at least I know I can play it offline on a 360. So I bought it back, and I stopped doing that. So I'm going to get the new Sniper Elite, but I'm going to keep this one just in case. Like I gave my Grand Theft Auto Special Edition steel case away to a friend, because the new one came out in the PlayStation. We're all good. Now I don't have to keep this. I was really trying to just streamline. Have the latest version of every game, then get the old version. Who needs it? And I've kind of changed that now. Some of I have Need for Speed Most Wanted. I have the black edition for the original Xbox, but I do have the 360, the much better HD version as well. But I'm not going to do that with Carbon. I'm happy with the new Carbon and the 360. I don't need to have the PS2 crappier version of it as well. I just don't need to. So I'm trying to streamline. I have the Fallout, Ultimate Carnage, so I don't really have the need to get, Fallout 2 for the original Xbox. But I do have the first Fallout, so technically I have every one in the series. I just try to keep the enhanced versions just to have that much more space on my shelves. But I'm getting to the point now where I don't even have room for this stuff, and I'm going to have to really take a hard look at it. Instead of having every game out, I may just pick out my very best ones and go back to a very simple, just a few shelves or floating shelves, and then just and then have maybe a built huge closet where they're all categorized on shelves, or some of them are even boxed in categories. Box 38 is all my FPS, 6th gen games, what have you. And so that's kind of my advice is, pick and choose. Not everyone has the room for a huge, massive collection. A lot of us really don't. It's just space is limited. everything, even to get a 500 square foot apartment in LA is like, you know, $2,700 a month. It's so expensive. And you got like one room to live in. Not everyone's going to have a giant game collection, you know. So that's my advice. Keep shit in storage and just, you know, keep your very favorite deals out. So Cameron, that's one of the things he was kind of perplexed with. And, you know, people change. And I know what it's like to be, when I was younger, I could keep everything in my 89 Dodge Dakota in the back of my pickup, not even over the bed rails, just in maybe 10 or 12 boxes in the back. All my clothes, my VHS, favorite movies, games, everything. And I like to travel light. You know, I get a new place, I wouldn't even put pictures on the wall because, you know, I might move again. So, and now when you get older, you kind of accumulate stuff and you kind of settle down, have a family, and you start getting comfortable and, you know, collecting all kinds of crap. And I threw out like 4 boxes of like old Hot Rod and Carcraft magazines, all my car mags. So I said, am I realistically ever going to go through these again? No. I was going to save them for doing car painting so I could cut the picture out, blow it up, and do whatever. But I said, go on the internet now and get a picture like that, print it out in my high-quality printer, put it in my opaque projector, done. So I don't need all these boxes. I hated to throw them away. I put them in the recyclable bins. Because they were pristine magazines, you know. Even my gaming magazines, I get rid of all. I found just like 5 or 6 I had left that accidentally were in a box of art books. Thank God I at least have those. I cherish those now. I wish I'd hung on to all the demo discs I had and all the game magazines. But, you know, you can't go back and change things. But I'm trying to learn from now moving forward. And the things I buy, the games I buy, I'm hanging on to. Now, if the chance comes, like that Man of Medan or something, it's done by that other outfit that did that horror game. I can't remember the name of it now, but they make really good games. You kind of go through and you can choose the fate of the characters and multiple option dialogue trees and stuff. That looks like a good game, but even Radical Reggie bought it, you know, and he rarely buys a game without knowing something about it first, and he kind of didn't like it. And, it's kind of too slow paced for me. I don't know if I really like this game, but you know, but he has it, you know. And to me, it's like if I really started to play it, I just didn't like it, didn't see myself playing it, I would definitely trade it in. I wouldn't hesitate. Yeah, I'll take a loss on it at GameStop, but if I get it and trade it in right away, well, still the value's decent. At least I'll get half of my money back or whatever for it, or I'll just give it to a friend or something. But if literally, if there's any games, and there's a few games I bought and tried them, and I just like, why did I get this? You know, believe it or not, that Panzer Dragoon Orta, it's not my thing. Flying around on a dragon, shooting things through a dragon, it's just not my thing. It's a great game, nothing against the game. It's a great Sega game, but it's just, so I was happy to get friends like, oh God, thank you so much. And it's like, no, here, dude, I was gonna like trade it in for $3. I didn't care. I'm happy to give it to you. You know. So some things I'll try, because someone said, you know, my dimple, oh, dude, you got to play this Panzer Dragoon Orta. So I went home and tried it. It was okay. I mean, I could see why people like it. It just wasn't for me. You know, I'd rather play, you know, an Apache helicopter game, you know, for the 360 or something that's just more military, strategic, more realistic. It's just me. I'm not into a lot of the fantasy stuff and hack and slash games. Nothing against those genres if you like them, but you know, and even my genres, I'm very selective. So right off the bat, I mean, all those medieval games, and you know, I do have one of the Oblivion games, special edition, or Morrowind, I think it is, or something for that. I have a special edition of that a friend gave me, and I'm glad I have. I'll hang on to that. It is an iconic game, and maybe someday I'll try Skyrim again. I just couldn't get into it for me, but other people just still buy every version of it. You know, everyone's different. You know. A lot of the people are, you know, all I care, Death Stranding and, you know, Cyberpunk 2077. I believe it or not, after watching the 20 minutes or a half hour or 50 minutes, whatever it was, of the Cyberpunk game, I don't know what it is. I just don't even have that big of an interest. It's like it looks good. It looks very polished, you know. I didn't play The Witcher, so I have no love for CD Projekt Red or whatever. They don't mean anything to me, so I have no affinity for them any more than I love that, what's his name, I guess Kojima, with the Death Stranding, who did all the Metal Gear Solid games. I'm not really into the Metal Gear games. Again, nothing against them. So, and I watch more stuff on Death Stranding, and you know, I'm not even going to, I just don't have any interest in it at all. If you go, I'll wait and watch reviews. I might watch some gameplay videos. I am curious about it, but it's just not for me, you know. So I don't fall under the victim, and a lot of people peer pressure. Oh, I've got to get this game and that. This everyone's raving about them. I'm more excited about this than I am about Death Stranding or about Cyberpunk 2077. That sounds blasphemous to some of you, but that's just how it is. I've been waiting for years for this game. It came out to the PC and years later on consoles. So, now collectible-wise, I don't have a lot of steel case games. I just got a few nice gifts. But one of the only ones, there's only 2 special edition games that I would like to get. I bought this one brand new for $20, factory sealed. It's my favorite Forza game of the Motorsport series. Now I do have a steel case of which I pre-ordered because I love the previews of it early on. I got this really handsome steel case of the first Forza Horizon, one of my favorite racing games of all time. But believe it or not, I don't like Forza 3 that much, but I do like Forza 2, and I really love Forza 4. So because Forza 4 is really more Forza 3, it's like there's no real need to own 3. I just don't need to own it. And I have all the DLC, all the season passes for this, which you can no longer get, by the way. I'm glad I have them. I still have them on my hard drive. So to me, these are the only go-to Forza games right here, these 3. So I'm happy with these. But because this game means so much to me, they have a special, this limited edition or collector's edition, a steel case with a lot of extra little goodies. I would like to have the Forza 2. Just the one game. Doesn't mean I want every game in steel case or whatever. And then, believe it or not, as shitty as this game is to many people, Turning Point Fall of Liberty, there's a really nice special collector's edition. I don't know if it's steel case or not, but it comes with pictures and a lot of interesting things and how they made the game. Maybe a DVD or something, I'm not sure. But I really would like to have that, believe it or not. It's in a real nice box. And so that and Forza 2, that's it. And I'll have those are the only special editions I want. I'm thrilled with this Kane and Lynch limited edition that my buddy Fred sent me from the UK. Thank you again, Fred, for this. I love this so much. This is so cool with a really cool soundtrack. I love the soundtrack to this game, and it's in here, and I can listen to it. It's very cool. So I like this. There are many others. If I researched them, I probably could find a dozen steel case game or special edition games I want, but I just don't have the money right now. Those are the only 2 that I really am hell-bent to get. Like I said, I have a few collectibles, not much, just a few, things. I've got the Far Cry, oh God, my back's killing me. Far Cry 4, I've got way up on the top shelf, the little statue for that. But I wasn't going to like to get the preacher guy, Far Cry 5, little statue with a stained glass window behind him. It was nice and everything. I just said, I've got enough stuff. I got enough crap. Cameron even has one of those, The Last of Us statues. I don't know what they call it now. I can't remember, but it's like worth 500 and up, and he treasures it. He loves it. But he loves that game, and it's an iconic game for him. He has a lot of collectibles, But he's even at the point where he's really trying to streamline his life. And my thing is, don't get rid of them. Hang on to them. Just put them away. You can always access them another day. But that's my thing anyway in collecting. Because we're moving in the throes of moving, I'm really taking a hard look at everything I have, and do I really need more shit? Now, I don't have many games to get. I got maybe a list of 5 to 8 Xbox 360 games. That's it. Maybe 3 to 4 original Xbox games. I'm almost done. PlayStation 2, I have maybe 8. I do have a bunch of PS1 games, maybe 20 or 30 PS1 games I would like to get. That's kind of the collection I want to work on. And I'd like to get an N64, get both of the Duke Nukem games, the Zero Hour especially, and the Duke Nukem 3D version, the Doom 64 for sure, and then the 4 Star Wars N64 games. That's it. Even loose carts are fine. Yeah, it'd be nice to have the boxes. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm excited about getting that system. That'll be when I move to Boise and start spending the next chapter of money spending. Then I'm going to finish that. Maybe get my Panasonic 3DO, and even then, 6 games tops. That's it. Just a few. And they're tall boxes. And there are some more PlayStation 1 tall boxes, which I'll talk about in my PS1 collection video coming up. But I'm pretty happy. Oh, man, pretty happy. I got my Terrorbilly Colossus, Wolfenstein 2 collectible. I love that. I'm so glad I bought that. And I paid over $100 for mine. Steve Baker just got one for $20. Dude, I just got the same thing for $20. Well, that's great. But I love this series so much. I would have paid $200 for it if I had to. But that was an exception I made. I didn't get the Panzerhound that was on the New Order collectible because it didn't come with a game, and it was just, you had to get through Bethesda. It was a little bit more money I wanted to spend, so I didn't. I kind of regret it in a way, but that's okay. I'm happy with the Terrabilly one. But that's it. I mean, I'm happy with the things that I have. I don't really need that much stuff. My game collection could be wrapped up like that. I mean, it's so close. And I'll kind of refine a few things. A couple games I'm missing manuals I might rebuy just to have the manual. Not too many. But, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about your collection? Do you have a huge list of goals? Oh, God, I've got, listed millions of games I want to get, or I'm satisfied, or I don't have room for a collection, or just frankly, it's not something I'm interested in. Some people, if they can't play it, if it kind of nags them like a backlog, they don't even want it around them. Whether it's a massive room full of games or even just a few. So, to me, I don't lose sleep over backlogs. I mean, I'll get to them when I get to them. The way it is when they make a game, it'll be done when it's done. I don't lose sleep. Oh, gosh, why didn't I finish those games? I have no guilt over it. I bought the games knowing that someday, Sniper Ghost Warrior, 2, for instance, I only played the first few levels. I would like to finish the game. The same with Far Cry 5 I bought. I haven't even played it yet. I've got, Rage 2 I haven't played. Even the Colossal, Wolfenstein Colossal, I still have not played. Got a beautiful steel case of that. I did buy Far Cry 5 Definitive Edition and got rid of my 360 with over 100 hours in my memory card or hard drive. But I've only played maybe 2 hours of the new one, PS4 one. But I still would like to replay that, put another 100 hours back into it. When I can do it, I don't know. And as part of it is what I do kind of feel guilty is to play a game I've already played when there's new ones out. When there's Metro Exodus I haven't played that's out, and stuff like that. So, and I like to get Metro Exodus. Like I said, the remastered version of this V2 Sniper Elite, my favorite Sniper Elite game, I'd very much like to have. I'll get them eventually. I'll get them eventually. So it's getting there. I'm in the throes of packing. I'm going to make these 2 collection videos, and that's it. I'm going to start packing everything up. And if I need something for a video, I can go and I'll know where it is. I can go and grab a few games to show and from my things here. But pretty happy with what I have. Really happy. The gaming art even. I mean, I did these things for me, to be honest, because these are my favorite Wolfenstein game, and this one, and my Need for Speed one I'm working on, and the Doom one. I'm working on one for the Doom game. It's almost done. It's pretty cool. But those I did for myself. If I sell them, if any of you really want them, I'll part with them. I can always repaint another one for myself. But I'm kind of already thinking of the next game room. I want a little bit more wall space for art, framed, or this kind of art, and just a handful of collectibles and my favorite games from each system. Maybe even a couple systems on display. Just very artistically done, nicely laid out. Doesn't mean I want to have everything out, but I'm going to store it all away in closets or packed, the rest of it, because it's just too much. I got 3 Xboxes around me right now, and it's just bugging me, the clutter. It's just too much crap. I got mountains of games just another 4 feet, 5 feet beyond me here, and I've got to go through and do those videos so I can put them away and box them up. So, which I'll do soon. So, Cameron, hopefully you like my video response. I gave you a little bit of advice in my personal journey along the way. Like I said, back in 2012, I wanted to do a very simple set. 3 shelves, just a few games, a couple collectibles on them, and that's it. I've kind of stayed with that, but then it kept expanding. Then I bought this big shelf, and I bought more floating shelves, and it's kind of getting cluttery now. I don't like it when it gets to that level. I'd rather have a little bit more clean and, laid out nicer. A little bit more breathing room, we'll put it that way. But anyway, that's my take on it. Everyone's different. It's very subjective. But let me know in the comments how you feel about it. I had to do this VR. It's a good concept. This thing was, collecting in excess. Do we really just need collect for the sake of collecting? We just got endless shit that you're never going to... So many videos I watch on YouTube, great YouTubers, really excellent, know so much, beautiful collections, but it's like a visual bombardment, the rooms, and so many games. I can't focus on what they're saying because I'm just looking at, my God, look at those, how many PS2 games he's got, or PS1 games, and then genres I'm not even familiar with. There's so many genres, and it's amazing how many games there are. We really have never had it so good. With the internet, that we have today, we can see everything. You can research everything to death, pick your favorite genre, and just go apeshit. It's really very cool. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you like this. I'll have another videos next week real soon here. And enjoy your weekend and enjoy your gaming.